Greetings from Helsinki, -20, cold. Brief video, really. It's a sad, very sad video. It's my tribute to the great Michael Doherty, who very sadly passed away in the last week. I believe his funeral today is in Spain, in Alicante. Michael helped lots and lots of people. He helped me, assisted me, supported me, encouraged me, but this is about Michael, not me. But Michael did many good things. And I just wanted to remind people what he initially did, which took immense bravery and courage, really. I believe he was of Irish descent. I think that's a complete lie. I actually think he was from Krypton. He didn't wear a cape, but if he opened his shirt, he would have a big S there for sure. Super Michael. So Michael, and I'll keep this very brief, Michael, some years ago, discovered that his daughter, by looking at her computer, was being groomed by presumably an adult male. And he gathered the evidence. He didn't just fly off the handle and make an assumption. He gathered the evidence over a short period of time. And he took the evidence to the police to suggest that there was a paedophile at the other end of the computer. The police were completely uninterested, took no interest at all, and did nothing. As a father, and I'm speaking to any parent now, they'll understand the frustration at that, especially if it's your own child. So what Michael did was he phoned up the most senior cop, the chief constable, spoke to the chief constable's secretary. Michael's direct but polite and respectful. It's his nature, it's just how he is. And he asked for some help and said, look, this is very serious, I'd like it investigated. Not unreasonable. He did the very wise thing because he was distrustful of the police and recorded the call. Within a few days, his house was broken into by a gang of police officers. He was arrested at dawn, smashed the front door in, and he was arrested for very serious threats. The secretary of the chief constable had made a complaint to her fellow officers that she'd been threatened and abused and all this kind of nonsense. I say nonsense, there's always two sides to a story. Well, fortunately, Michael recorded the call. So he was polite, respectful, firm. Anyway, the police had no interest whatsoever in investigating Michael's complaint, but they did have a massive interest in persecuting and prosecuting him for this nonsense, this non-event. He hadn't done any of those things, and there was evidence to prove that he hadn't. Obviously, once the CPS had got involved, the case was dropped. So Michael sued the police, and he took out a private prosecution, criminal prosecution, for trespass, damage to property, a whole host of other things. And the police and the Crown Prosecution Service did everything possible to stop the case, destroy the case, to discredit Michael. But like a lion, he fought all the way to the end. I actually had tears in my eyes because I'm a complete wimp. At Luton Crown Court, he had a hearing in front of a judge, and the CPS lawyers, with their pomp and ceremony, stood up and had tried to strike out the case for lack of evidence. Michael was able to play the recording of his non-threats, because that's exactly what it was. And the judge in the case said there was compelling evidence against the police, whereas the police obviously couldn't see that themselves because they're too stupid, too corrupt. They're not stupid, they're corrupt. Anyway, to Michael's credit, he saw the prosecution all the way to the end. Because it was a criminal matter and not a civil matter, the judge instructed the Crown Prosecution Service to take over the prosecution. So Michael was duty bound to hand over all his evidence to the Crown Prosecution Service. And what did they do? As soon as they had the evidence, they dropped the case for lack of evidence. They said there was no evidence, even though a High Court judge said there was compelling evidence, and I was there. Anyway, so did Michael give up? No, I said he was born in Krypton. He came from Krypton. What Michael did was he was able very quickly to get a judicial review on the Crown Prosecution or the CPS's decision, and he was back in the game. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to win because of the state prosecuting the state. Well, we both know how that's going to end. But the point is, he didn't give up, and his dogged pursuit of justice is an inspiration to everyone, really. So, Michael, rest in peace. No parent should ever have to bury their son or their daughter or their children. I'm truly very sorry. I'm sorry I can't be there. But this is really a message for your family, your children, your parents, everyone that knows you, everyone that loves you. Rest in peace, old boy. And what can I say? I don't know what to say. I wish I had a magic wand to make it all okay. But I don't, I'm afraid. But my best wishes and my love to everybody. Thank you.